Grab your free copy of my brand new Ultimate Quantum Healing Starter Guide. This 43-page guide is packed full of everything you need to create a balanced and aligned life. We cover everything from meditation to grounding, how to connect with your guides and higher self, how to clear and protect your energy, and how to clear and protect your home and land. I'll help you balance and align your chakras, soothe anxiety and calm your nervous system, and find the perfect must-have crystals, and so much more. There are self-guided meditation practices listed throughout, and a powerful list of affirmations and journaling prompts you can work with every day. Click the link in the description to get a copy of this must-have guide. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome if you're new here. My name is Heather. I'm a quantum healing hypnosis practitioner. I hope you are doing well wherever you are. I'm sending you lots of love. I wanted to make a video. I posted a quantum healing hypnosis session yesterday with my dear friend Kim. Kim and I have been doing hypnosis sessions for a good bit now. She's got quite a few on my channel. You can actually find them in a playlist. Kim has her own playlist because we've done so many sessions together. And they're so good. Every single one of them. She brings through such clear information, and I absolutely love working with her. Yesterday, we went on a fun journey, or not yesterday, 2 days before this. But yesterday, I posted a video where we went on some really exciting journeys. We went to this place called the Hall of Changes, where the higher self goes when there's some major changes coming up in your life. And they work with a council, they work with a team to sort of plan it. You know, you just don't get thrown in a different direction. Sometimes it feels like that. I can testify to that. But you have a team that works with your higher self and your spirit team to sort of help you plan out these big changes and sort of changes to your life trajectory. And then after that, we traveled over to this place called the Hall of Divine Blueprints. And that was right up my alley because I have been working on divine blueprints and divine templates for the last few months. I'll tell you more about that in just a bit. But I wanted to make this video because someone asked me if they could potentially go to these places, like through astral projection or meditation. And the answer is absolutely yes, you can. There are so many spaces in the quantum realm that we can visit. And that's what I think is so fun about a quantum healing hypnosis session, because the sky is the limit where you can go. Now, not everybody can get to every single place, but it's so much fun just to kind of see, hey, where can we go? What can we see? I remember I was keeping like a list of all these different places at one point to like take people to and just to go explore. But you can go to star systems, you can go on starships, you can travel to parallel realities. There is so many things that you can do through meditation or through hypnosis. It really is fun to play in sort of that quantum realm space. But if you are interested in learning how you can access the Hall of Changes or the Hall of Divine Blueprints, I have channeled in a guide that will help you to potentially access those two places. Now, whether or not you can get there, that's all dependent upon how much you can relax and let go and trust the process. But I will guide you through it with this sort of step-by-step guide to help you know sort of where to direct your consciousness and things that you can do within that space once you get there. Now, the key is trusting. And also, if you don't get there the first time, just practice. Practice makes perfect, right? We don't always get exactly where we need to go the very first time, but with a little practice and patience and setting the intention, you can absolutely experience some amazing places in hypnosis or when you're doing your own deep meditations at home. So if you're interested in that, it is a little guide. I'm not sure how many pages it is, but it's got both journeys in there for you to walk through and sort of read through how to access it and then what you can do in that space. It just gives you a little bit of guidance. I've got a link down in the description. You can just sign up, put your email address in, and I'll send you a copy. And then the next time you meditate or even potentially go work with a hypnosis practitioner, you can try and access these places, play around, see if you can make changes to your soul plan if you're not liking your life at this time, or update and work on your blueprints because that's what I'm into right now is working on these divine blueprints. So grab yourself a free copy of that if you're interested and let me know what you experience. You can email me, Heather at quantumhealingwithin.com. I always love to hear like where you guys go. I create these custom guided journeys in the Quantum Soul Portal. We go all over the place. We travel to different realms, different dimensions. We work with dragons. We go to different planets. We go on spaceships. We fly around the galaxy at times. And I think my favorite part is hearing where everybody went, what they experienced, what they saw. It's like I said, it's unlimited when we get over into that quantum space, what you can, just what you can see, what you can feel. Sky's the limit. So let's talk about blueprints a little bit. I want to share some information because I've been sort of sharing it a little bit here and there. It is something that I've been working on, honestly, since the beginning of this year when it started coming in. And I'll tell you, if you go and listen to Kim's session, she goes into a little bit of the explaining about blueprints from the guide's perspective. But I'll share what's been coming through for me if you're interested. Earlier this year, I'd say around February or March, I go outside and I walk in the woods pretty much almost every day and I channel. So I connect with my team. I see what they have to share, if they have any messages. And sometimes they'll show me visuals and sort of paint pictures for me to put together. Sometimes it's information or downloads flowing in. And so I went through this period of time where they were talking to me about blueprints and divine templates. And at first, when they started bringing this information in, I had no idea what they were talking about. I'm like, what are they talking about? So, if you've been with me for a while, you may know that for about 20 years, I was a web designer and a web developer, and I wrote code and I did all of those fun technical things. That was right up my alley. I absolutely loved doing that work. And then, of course, I went through my awakening and eventually shifted over into quantum healing. And so now I feel like I'm having sort of a full circle moment because I'm coming back into coding, but it's also mixed with healing. So it's a beautiful balance of everything that I've been doing for quite some time now. But my team started showing me or explaining to me sort of how our reality is created. And it's not quite how we know it to be. It's so much deeper than what the human has awareness of. And I think as we raise our consciousness level, we are going to start to learn more and understand more about the true nature of our reality and how it's created. And it's deep. It's so cool though. So what they started showing me is if you want to think of a website, because that's the language that I speak. If you go to a website, a web page, you see it with its beautiful colors and its layout and its functionality, what it does. It's either providing you with information or it's doing something for you. And so most people go to websites all day, every day, but don't realize what it takes to make up just one website. And so behind the scenes are pages upon pages of code and a variety of codes, not just one type. There are many different types of codes and scripts and files that make up each individual website. And so it's like, that's what they were showing me when I was out for a walk. It's like, okay, you look around at the earth and you have this beautiful organic physical planet that we live on and we sort of move through it and experience our life. And we just feel like we're just here having this human experience, which we are. But underneath, on the flip side, behind the scenes, is code. It is the frequencies that make up this reality. It is the programming language, the source code that makes up this reality. It is a divine design that is very technologically advanced, that again, many of us don't realize what goes on behind the scenes. So the interesting thing is, I don't know when it was. It was quite a while ago. I'm going to say maybe 8 months or more ago. I have lots of crazy things that happen at night. I wake up and I see interdimensionally, and this has been happening since I was about 19 years old. So I have seen some crazy, crazy things. At some point, I started taking sleeping pills because I had to shut it off. It was so intense and overwhelming to my system. And I was young and I didn't know what was happening, and I just was over it. But now I have more of an awareness of what's happening. And so I kind of come out of that dream state and in this in between state where I can open my eyes, but I'm still sort of in that state of I'm not quite awake. So I see things. And there have been many, many times where I can look at my walls or look at different objects within my room and I see light moving, and I see light moving in different patterns and different configurations. And I'll stare at it until it fades away, because eventually I come fully out of it and I can, bring myself back. And so I've asked through a channeling session, what am I seeing? And they told me I'm seeing the code that makes up our reality. I'm seeing the actual structure behind the physical structure, the coding structure, the light that makes up our reality. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. I wonder if I could manipulate it and get some new furniture in my room. That's my thoughts. How can I organize, or how can I change that code to change my reality? But the truth is we could potentially do that, not at this level of consciousness where we are, but we could do that as higher dimensional beings are able to do that type of recoding in their realities because they have that deeper awareness and understanding of what reality truly is. So they started talking to me about divine templates. And divine templates, you can think of, are source created templates. So source created these divine templates that are for humans. They're how we are supposed to truly live, not how we do now in this reality, but how we were originally created. So for instance, you have a template of abundance, which means you should be naturally abundant in all areas of your life, not struggling, not striving, not trying to make a living, not what we experience here. Abundance should flow with ease. That is our original divine design. Relationship templates. Relationships should be easy. They should be divine. We should have a beautiful balance of feminine and masculine energies, that divine feminine and divine masculine. We should have beautiful, easy relationships. Not that they should be perfect, but they should be more balanced than they are, not the toxic relationships that many of us experience. Our bodies should be self-healing. They are self-healing. They should automatically heal. That's how they were originally created. However, we know that we live in a reality right now that is very highly toxic. Toxic air, toxic water, toxic food, crappy food, And then on top of that, we have all of the things that the body stores and holds. So heavy, dense emotions, blockages, our chakra centers are out of balance. The energy doesn't flow through with ease. We're not grounded. Oh gosh, the list goes on and on. We're overlaid with just very heavy energies. DNA manipulation. Our DNA is not fully active and online. Many of the strands are still remaining dormant. Although, if you're going through your awakening process, then more than likely some of those strands are starting to now wake up and activate. And that allows you to connect to higher consciousness, higher dimensions, your guides, your angels, your teams. You can hear them more clearly. You're connecting to higher levels and layers of who you truly are. We have imprints from past lives that we're still connected to. So many people are dealing with issues in this life, and they're like, I can't figure out this issue. And it's because it's not even from this lifetime. You find that out when you get into a hypnosis session, that what you're dealing with is from another life. And so you have to go back into that life and do some healing work and clear all that energy up so that issue releases in this life. So we're very complex and we have a lot going on. And this has been part of part of the awakening journey. Once you start your awakening journey, you realize, oh, I have to start letting go. I have to start releasing. I have to start clearing. I have to start doing that inner work. And many of us get on that path. We go through big purge and release cycles. You go through a process of clearing out things out of your life and moving into new timelines and new trajectories. You start making changes to your diet and your environment, and you start to realize, I have to clean and clear my system. It's really important because what's happening is we are moving into those higher dimensions. We call it New Earth, those New Earth timelines where life is going to be hopefully very different from what we are living now. We know it will be, but we just don't know yet what that's going to look like. And so, in order to align with those higher dimensional spaces, that energy, we have to let go of the density because we're too heavy and we can't fully align with those higher levels of consciousness and the higher dimensional existences just yet. And that process is hard, that clearing and that releasing and that letting go. It really is a lot of work. We talk about it in the Quantum Soul Portal all the time. The waves that you go through. Some days you feel amazing. You feel like you are literally living in 5D. And then some days you are just smack on the floor, what is happening, full of anxiety, clearing and releasing, purging. It's a process. And many of us are doing this work not just for ourselves. We are doing it for our family lineage. We're doing it for our family, those around us. We volunteer because we're very strong. Even if you don't feel it, you are. You're very, very powerful. You're more than what you believe yourself to be in this life. I can promise you. I've listened to countless channeled messages sessions, and if we each truly knew our power, our divinity, um, who we are, who we really are, what we have been, and who we have been in other lifetimes, what we've accomplished, we would be so powerful in this life. We would be like, nothing can mess with me because I know who I am. But unfortunately, you come to earth and you forget all that. And you have to go through this process of remembrance. And the more that we let go and release, the more that we remember, the more that we can tap back into who we truly are and why we're here. So, all right. So, we're going through this process of cleansing, clearing, and we do that in many ways. You do that through meditation. Maybe you do it through guided meditations. Maybe you like to spend a lot of time in nature, which is so, so powerful. Nature alone can help us to heal in ways that most people can't imagine. We don't spend enough time out there most of the time. Or you go to sessions, things like Reiki and energy healing work. You do hypnosis sessions, you get channeled guidance. There's all sorts of ways that we can clear and heal and release and lift and raise our frequency and vibration. So, going back to blueprints and divine templates. So, what my team showed me is we have these original divine templates created by Source. And if we were not covered up in all of those things that I just mentioned, we would be living a completely different life experience. It may not be perfect, but it would be so much different because we would be living by our true divine design. So you've got divine templates, which sort of everybody runs off of the same sort of templates. We're all sort of created to work off of those divine templates, and there's many different ones. Then you have blueprints. Okay, so divine blueprints. And what my team has showed me is these are sort of like your individual instructions, your blueprints, what makes you you. And everyone has a unique blueprint. So your blueprint may hold things like your soul path, your soul mission, what you came here to do, how you came here to live, how you want to experience your life, your gifts and abilities, your gifts from the stars, specific coding specific to you. So this is one of the things in the quantum soul portal that we work with is we understand that as a galactic being, because you have star origins, you may be Andromedan, you may be Pleiadian, you may be Arcturian. More than likely, you are all of those in some form. We as a soul are so expansive. So you're not just one thing. Like I identify most with my Pleiadian self or my Pleiadian aspect in this life, but I have an Arcturian aspect. I have a Lyran aspect. I have had many different channeled messages sessions where I've learned about a variety of different parts of me that make up the whole of my soul. So we have codes and keys and activations that we bring with us into this physical body from our star systems. And these codes, you can think of them as frequencies. They're frequencies, they're keys, they activate, they unlock things. And we have these within us, and they activate at certain parts of our journey. When we get to a certain level of consciousness, these codes come online. And then as they come online and activate, we share them. So we share them with Gaia. Gaia receives our codes, frequencies. You can think of the codes as frequencies. It's interchangeable from our star systems. It helps to activate her. It assists her expansion and her ascension. We also share and radiate those out for others to connect with. So if you think about every single person on this planet being connected in some way, almost like an energetic web runs through us all. And when you hold codes, keys, activations, and someone else comes into your field, if they're ready to receive it, they receive it. And that's what's really cool about those of us who are actively doing this sort of clearing work and activating yourself. And you don't have to do that intentionally. It just happens when you're ready for it. Or there's a variety of ways that you can do activations. We do a lot of this work in the portal. You become almost like a lighthouse or a beacon to radiate those frequencies out for others. And this helps with the ascension. It helps people to wake up. The more work that you do on yourself, because that's what the guides are saying, work on yourself, work on you. Don't worry about what's going on around you. You do the inner work because the more that you clear and release, the more light is able to come in. We are receiving so much right now through the sun. We are receiving codes and activations from our star families. There's a lot flooding in, and that light can't fully activate or integrate within you if you are full of trauma, of blockages, of entities and attachments, of past life things. You have to do that work first to get clear, to release all of that so you can bring that light in. It's so important. And what my team has been sharing with me lately is the more that we do this work, we become bridges for those who are either not able to do the work because they're just so deep into their life and they can't get out of it. It's easy to do here. We hear this all the time from the guides. People get very stuck here, just in all of the lower energies and the heaviness of this planet. So you can become a bridge for those who are either unable to do the work, are not here to wake up in the way that we are not here to do that work. You become that bridge, almost that stepping stone from one dimension to the next. Again, very, very important so that all souls can sort of move or hopefully move. Again, I will say this, every soul has their own unique path, even with ascension. So, not all souls are going to go or experience the same thing at the same time, but it's all based on what the soul chooses. But the bridges are needed. Those of us who are doing this deep inner healing, that is needed because it's helping those who can't do it, don't want to do it, didn't come to do it. It's helping them to access those higher dimensional frequencies because we're holding them and allowing them to access what we have within our energetic system. So back to blueprints. So this started coming into my reality early in the year, but I didn't quite understand why or what they wanted me to know about that until it started expanding more around the end of April, May timeframe. And my team started talking to me even more about blueprints and blueprint coding and how we can get into our energetic system, almost like think of yourself like a computer system, because my team has been talking to me like that for a long time. They have shared that we are very highly technologically advanced. Hopefully, I said that right. We're high technology. You might look at yourself and say, I don't feel very advanced, or I don't feel like technology. I feel like my body is running on fumes. Again, that is the nature of our reality right now. But you are very advanced. It's just that we've been distorted and manipulated over time. So our bodies are not those original divine templates that Source created us as. We have all of the overlays, imprints, all the things that we're working to clear. So, what my team has showed me is think of your divine blueprint as if you want to think of yourself as a computer. So, you've got an operating system, you've got hardware, you've got programs that run inside of you. And a lot of us are running on old, outdated programs. Our operating system has not been updated in a while. We have not defragged our hard drive. Some of you might remember or have done that before, where your hard drive becomes very fragmented over time when you install lots of different programs and delete them, and you have to do a disk defrag to kind of clean up your system. We're not running our virus protection or our virus scan. We're not doing our system cleanup. So many of us are running on outdated programs and outdated software, old software. And so when we're doing the clearing, we're trying to get rid of all of that outdated software and update the programs within our physical body so that we are aligning with the higher dimensions and the higher timelines and experiencing life in more of a flow state where everything starts to magnetize to us. You have to do less but receive more. That is what we're trying to move into. Instead of working so hard, just moving into being in alignment, completely different way of being. So my team has shown me through blueprint recoding and coding work, which again is just frequencies, keys, activations, where we get into our divine blueprint, the instructions that make us who we are, and we start to tweak things. Now, you don't go in and just make all sorts of changes. You don't wake up and you look completely different the next day, but you can go in and make frequency tweaks, frequency upgrades, and start to update your system. And this is honestly, I don't think it's new because the team has said it's not new. It's just new to us, or it's new to me. It's coming into my reality now because I've reached a level where I can begin to tap into it through the work that I've done, through the different sessions and the different meditations. I've raised my consciousness level up enough where I can start to access this information. And many people are. I see so many people talking about codes and frequency work and blueprints and templates. So this is beginning to come into our reality because I feel like we've leveled up and we're starting to realize again how our reality and how our physical bodies truly work. It's so much deeper than what we believe and what we yet know. We haven't, I don't think we've even scratched the surface of so many things that are yet to express themselves when we're ready. So I have been working with my team for the past few months to bring through what I call divine blueprint codes. And these are different frequencies brought through in a variety of ways, where when we work with them, we are sort of integrating new frequencies into our system. And what it does is it assists with the clearing process. So it helps you to release the old, all of those things we've been talking about, and it helps you to integrate the higher frequencies, which does a variety of things depending on what you're working on. So there are physical body codes to help begin to recode and reprogram the physical body. Now, I've been working with these codes for a while, and I have noticed quite a few changes on myself, but they're not drastic. So I'm not waking up looking like a completely different person or anything that is just so insanely different that I'm like, oh my gosh, what happened there? But I have noticed a lot of physical body changes for myself, that I can see and I can feel. There are so many codes for updating your nervous system and your mental stability and your emotional response to things. And those I see so much change in when working with these codes and frequencies. And I work directly with my team to channel them in. My emotions can shift like that. I can be full of anxiety or some fear coming up, and I can work with my team, bringing in the right frequencies that I need, and everything balances out. It's crazy how quickly it works. Let's see, what else is there? There are a lot of the codes and the frequencies that I've been working with help to activate your gifts and abilities. And I will tell you, mine are expanding by leaps and bounds, especially lately. I'm starting to have more crazy experiences. Um, there's so much. If I went into it, we'd be here all day, all of the things that I'm starting to experience, but I'm opening up even to receive more guidance from my team. um, it's like I get visuals. My visuals are so much stronger. I am able to sort of ask questions and get an instant download or have an understanding. My productivity has picked up tenfold, and everything is easy. It's just super, super easy how it flows in. So, as I've been working with blueprint coding, it has been changing a lot of what I have been experiencing. And I'm also doing this with clients. I do this through my soul guidance sessions. We do blueprint coding and channeled messages in that session. But I'm also working with this within the Quantum Soul Portal. And so I'm sort of observing what my portal members are going through, what they're experiencing. And so far, it has been pretty amazing. It clears out the old density, it activates the new, and it helps to continue you moving forward on your path. It's not going to do anything crazy. You're not going to wake up again, like I said, and be sort of a different person or in a different timeline. But it's another way, because we do this with so many different sessions. Again, Reiki, meditation, hypnosis. There are so many ways that we work with these sort of codes and activations from our team. This is just another way. It's another tool. It's another resource for getting in there and fine tuning your system. And why do we want to do that? Because many people are going through what's called ascension symptoms, and this is a range of experiences. You may be feeling headaches, you may be really, really tired, you may have a lot of anxiety, you may feel just a lot of aches all over your body. So this isn't going to completely solve that, because we have to go through the releasing process. We are physically being upgraded. We have to be, in order to align with the higher dimensions. We don't quite fit right now. We're a little too dense and heavy. But working with these frequencies, these blueprint frequencies, codes, keys, and activations, it helps to align you to the higher dimension, and your experience just begins to shift and change. So it's quite amazing. And I think we're just at the very tip of this. I feel like this is going to expand, and we're going to understand more about it as we go. I am learning so, so much, but it's so new. So I'm trying to just get, my understanding as I bring forward and share this information. But I think this information too is going to be coming forward in future hypnosis sessions because I feel like I'm being guided to work with people who are very connected to coding as well. I think there are many of us who are here to do this work in a variety of different ways. You may even feel guided to work with codes. You may be having geometric codes come in, or even be working with things like colors or sound, different vibrational tools, and all of those are frequency. So that's how our reality is made up of: energy, frequency, sound, vibration, color. All of that makes up what we have here. It's all energy, all from source. So if you want to work on your blueprint on your own, you can download that guided meditation that I said at the beginning, and try to access your blueprint on your own and see what you can do to sort of update it and upgrade it. Or if you are feeling like this sounds amazing and I want to do this work, I want to expand, I want to step into my soul path and mission, I want to access my gifts and abilities, I want to work on my physical body a little bit and see what happens, what shifts and what changes. We're doing this work every month in the Quantum Soul Portal. I have a codex library full of codes that I bring through. And then we also do these frequency journeys where I take you through a full 4-week journey on different topics. We've done abundance. This month we are doing it's soul mission activation, and it's a powerful one. It's a powerful one because I went through a huge shift going through just putting this together and recording the meditations. It was quite wild. I also have a new website, and I want to talk more about this in a different video, but it's magical. It's called lightcodejourneys.com. This is all divine blueprint codes and core system codes, and they work together beautifully. But it's a magical website where, as you become a member, you get access to core journeys. So it may be things like an abundance journey, a starseed mission activation journey. There is a soul recode journey that's in there, soul restoration, and I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. But you have these individual core journeys that you start with, and you go into like this magical space. Maybe you enter a portal, or you go into a magical temple, or into a beautiful sanctuary space. And as you enter, you are guided through a variety of different guided journeys that lead into these pathways. And you get to choose which pathway. It's kind of like one of those pick your own adventure books. Do you remember those where you was like, which direction do you want to go? That's how this has been created. You go into a core journey, and then you pick which pathway you want to take. And so you get to you get all the information, like if you are feeling this way, or if you're thinking like this, then choose this pathway. Or if you're feeling like this, if you're thinking like this, take this pathway. But each pathway is magical. So maybe you want to walk the river of release, or enter the Still Point Temple. They all have these really cute magical names, and they take you into these individual journeys where you are going to work with blueprint codes and core system codes created specifically to clear and release whatever it is that you could be holding within your divine blueprint that's ready to release. And you're going to activate and integrate higher dimensional frequencies, source frequencies, into your blueprint, into your divine template, to help you move forward in whatever pathway that you chose. Again, these are very, very powerful frequencies. I have people that are testing them and working with them, and so far, it's an amazing experience. Also, with each pathway, you get a beautiful guided journey in my voice. So if you, I teach you how to work with the codes. I teach you how to walk through them on your own. But if you want to lay back and relax and just let me do the work for you, you can take that path as well. You can combine those two together. It really is a powerful, powerful website to start to activate more of those divine templates and blueprints within you, level you up, get you to the next part of your path and journey. And each journey, each pathway has a list of really high frequency affirmations and journaling prompts at the end of every single section or every single pathway, because it's important to work with affirmations. Affirmations are codes. Everything that you say is code. It's a program. So if you find yourself saying, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I can't have this, my life sucks, you're programming that into your system. Those are all of those old, outdated programs that you've been carrying around that are running on loop in your life. And when you have those outdated programs, what happens? Because everything is a reflection of your inner world, your outer world reflects that back to you. So, how do you change the reflection of what you're seeing in your outer world? You change the inner. And so, through using affirmations, you are changing the programs of what you used to tell yourself to what you should be telling yourself in order to change the program and update the system. The journaling prompts are fantastic because it allows you to, if you really want to track your progress, it gives you journaling prompts to use before you start the journey, what to use during working with the codes, and what to use after. And let's see, what else was I going to say? There's just so much in there. It's really a cool site. So if you want to check that out, you can go to lightcodejourneys.com. That's Light Code Journeys with an S. I will leave that link in the description below if you just want to pop over and check it out. And you can always email me at heather@quantumhealingwithin.com if you have questions. I'm happy to answer them. But I think I've rambled on long enough about codes and divine templates and blueprints. I feel like I could talk about this for quite some time because it has been such a huge part of my life. I think it is going to be a huge part of all of our lives moving forward when we start to understand that we can get into our system and we can fine tune it and tweak it. And how amazing is that? How amazing is that? This is just, I feel like I'm in a place where life is getting really fun and exciting. And we're learning new things because we are at that level where it's time for new things to flow in. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm sorry I've been talking for such a long time, but be sure to grab that guided journey if you want to access the Hall of Changes or the Hall of Blueprints. Reach out if you have any questions. If you'd like to go on a journey, if you want to go on your own journey and try to visit some of these places, I have slots available for quantum healing hypnosis sessions, and I would absolutely love to take you on one of those journeys. All right, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I'm sending you so much love. I'll see you in the next video.